Texas, and the latest on the devastating flooding there. Right now, the death toll stands at 110, but the governor saying 173 people are now unaccounted for across the state. Chief National Correspondent Matt Gutman is in Kerrville with a powerful story this morning. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Will. You know, folks here had suspected that the number of missing would rise, but to hear that number of 173 missing is truly staggering. I've been speaking with EMS officials who are telling me that they are going to scour every single inch of the Guadalupe River all the way down to its terminus at Canyon Lake. That's 125 river miles away. It's a process that could take months. That, as we're learning, this incredible story of survival by a mother who clung to a tree. Heroic, and you're about to see her. Her name is Linsey Roberson.
This morning, the staggering scale of the recovery effort ahead. 173 people still missing from the catastrophic July 4th flooding that also killed at least 110 people. Texas Governor Greg Abbott flying over the disaster zone.
We have to find every single person who's missing.
The flood's now the deadliest natural disaster in Texas in nearly a century. And for the first time, the point of view from a flood survivor, filming as trees and brush are swept by. That's 15-year-old Jack Roberson holding his mother Linsey's phone, yelling to her in the darkness, her words barely audible.
There's boats and helicopters coming. What? I am. I can climb higher, but I'm okay. Are you high? Mom, are you in a tree? There's boats coming.
And those weren't boats, but cars floating by. At one point, Jack filming 18 minutes straight. The floodwater roaring as loud as a jet engine. They woke up to an alert at about 5 a.m., water already in the house. The family swept out.
The doors wouldn't open, but a big glass pane, side pane of our door fell down just as we were trying to figure out how we were going to get out. And my sis.
So until that moment, you were trapped in your own house by the pressure of the water.
Yes.
I spoke to Linsey Roberson, the mother, from her hospital bed.
My body already at that point was so badly injured for whatever hit me, I believe, when I was underwater with that house going over me. It wasn't a matter of how could you swim and where you wanted to go. It was a matter of the current and the rush. It was just terrifying. Like there were roofs, there were cars, there were boats, trailers, all these things just rushing down the river. And I grabbed hold of that next spot, and the next thing I saw coming for me was a house. And I don't even know how it all happened.
She suffered a severe gash in her leg and multiple other injuries. And she ended up clinging to this dead tree, still in her nightgown. She, her husband, and son made it to safety, but her two daughters were at Camp Mystic. Their cousins, Eloise and Georgia Jones, also there.
At what point did you know that something was wrong at the camp?
Well, around 2 a.m. or 3, another cabin had run into our cabin saying there's water in their cabin and they can't stay there. Yeah, that's when we realized, like, something was wrong, yeah. And our cabins are high up, and for them to be flooding, it's like, you know something's wrong.
The camp saying 27 campers and a counselor perished. Several are still missing. But Linsey's daughters are safe. Nearly 80% of the deaths from those devastating floods happened in Kerr County, part of a region known as Flash Flood Alley. This FEMA map illustrating how Camp Mystic is built right in the heart of that high flood zone. And this morning, frustration over the county's warning systems soaring.
I'm pissed off that this amount of death has happened this quick, this fast. We need to get a system. We need more than what we have.
We presented those frustrations to county officials.
The community here is asking these questions. What happened? When did it happen? Was the emergency manager awake at the time? Did they push the button to issue an emergency alert?
Sir, it's not that easy when you just push a button, okay? There's a lot more to that.
There's a conversation that's had. I understand. So did it happen, sir?
I can't tell you at this time.
That as we learn about the lives taken too soon. 8-year-old Linnie McCowan, remembered as a shining light who filled our lives with indescribable joy. Mary Grace Baker, a fellow 8-year-old camper who had recently celebrated her first communion, her school calling her a bright light who loved to dance, she loved art, and she was in Little League. And 62-year-old Tanya Berwick, who worked at the local Walmart for a decade since its opening, her work family remembering how her dedication, warmth, and spirit touched so many of us over the years.
Now, with 8-year-old campers dying, there's been a lot of scrutiny on Camp Mystic, but public records show that state inspectors approved the camp's emergency plans on July 2nd. There's something else that we dug into. Public records here in Kerr County show that the Kerr County Commission discussed the issue of a flood warning system 20 times since 2016, but installed nothing new. George.
Wow, that's something. Okay, Matt, thanks very much.